We're getting there. Yes, Yay! There we go. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
It's me, Heather, and
Nigel.
Yes, the husband.
Yeah.
He's literally right behind me. You can actually like see his shoulder and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, today's gonna be a fun one. What did you say about yourself?
Practitioner of Gokushufudo, the way of the house husband.
Go ahead and plug it.
All right. Well, I may have mentioned it a couple times in previous broadcasts, but there's this amazingly fun cartoon on Netflix at the moment called The Way of the House Husband. It's about this absolutely terrifying and lethal gangster who decides to retire from organized crime and be a devoted house husband to his corporate wife. But he cannot stop being intense about everything. He scares the hell out of everyone, even as he's making the most divine food. Yeah, it's hilarious, and there's a live action thing that goes alongside it that called the Ingenuity of the House Husband. That actually has some handy tips like how to clean filters on air conditioners and such like. And how
he is obsessed with the show and its spin-offs.
Clean burnt stuff off pans and stuff. Looks pretty darn good, but I find it hilarious. You are
adorable. You light up when you talk about stuff you like. It's so cute.
Well, it's fun and it's funny.
I love you. So speaking of delicious food, did you notice that Barbara is offering us pumpkin cupcakes with cream cheese?
Absolutely.
My mouth started watering while I was trying to say the word cupcake, and it just came out like But yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Let's see who's in here. You wanna?
Well, earlier on, NYT Mom says, wee! Faith Brown says, hi, everyone.
Hi, Faith.
Jackie says, yay, it's wig party time. Hi, everybody.
Yes, it is. I even told Nigel before we came on air, like 2 seconds before the thing was, I was like, Jackie's got the right idea. Yeah. Yes.
Michelle says, good evening, everyone.
Hi, Michelle.
Liz says, hi, all.
Hi, Liz.
Jen says, hi, everyone.
Hi, Jen. Liz, by the way, did you see that I put pictures in the posts and stuff of the chocolate icing? I'm so excited to show what I look like in that. I put some of that in the slideshow. So I was thinking of you when I did that. And hi, Jen, again. I'm sorry to cut off the highs there.
Yeah. Barbara, we've covered her fantastic
fabulous
offer. Opalunia says hi.
Hello.
Hi. Liz says, beautiful necklace, Heather.
Thank you. I love orange. I can barely wear it, but the slightly cooler melony type shades I can wear, like corals and stuff.
Gwen says, hi, Heather, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
I tend to agree.
Thank you. And the wig is charisma. I'm wearing that right now. This is what the reason for the season tonight is all about. This is in the smoked plum, which is very soft. It's a really, really pretty kind of muted plummy color. It's very accessible.
Alrighty, Bettina says, hola, y'all. Love that wig, Heather. I'm getting ready to eat a late lunch. Sounds good to me. Very late lunch. Might as well just call it dinner.
Could be dinner.
Yeah.
Or dunch.
Lunner. Dinch. Yes, good stuff. Liz says, oh, yes, believe me, chocolate icing R is my go-to. Kathleen Ryan says, hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Kathleen. And the indecisive wig wearer says, hi. Hi.
All right.
With the comments at the moment.
Hooray. Well, I am going to get right to it. I took a ton of pictures and they were all really super good. So I don't want to hold you guys in suspense too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little presentation. Boop. Look, it's both of us. Okay, so I took these pictures last night, by the way. I stayed up until like
1 in the morning.
It took forever. I'm getting very good at my concealer game, and I wanted to make sure everybody knew that there was no filter, no blurring, no Photoshop. This is literally how my makeup turned out last night. My concealer, mwah. I wish I tried to duplicate it again tonight. It's not quite there, but for some reason the stars aligned. And last night my concealer was freaking fantastic. So that's a raw photo with the wig unstyled. So I'm super, super stoked about both of those two things. We're going to be talking about Charisma, which is the style that I'm wearing. Again, the color I'm wearing right now is called Smoked Plum-R. It's kind of a muted, almost like gray undertone, which is kind of hard to explain, but you can kind of see it has kind of that smoky undertone to it when it catches the light, you know, and it's a really, really nifty color. We're also going to be showing you the Moonlit Orchid, which is definitely a favorite of mine. And then, which I think will go really interestingly with this ensemble, by the way. The necklace will tie it all together, hopefully. And also South Beach Sands. We're also going to show you another way to try to remove the dreaded taco head that comes from a flat packed wig. We're going to be using a hot air brush. I showed Nigel what to do. I did it on this wig.
Mhm.
Of course, you'll get even better results if you wash the wig first and let it dry on like a styro head or something like that overnight. It'll soften it right out. But if you want to use heat to reinforce that or get some more layers to lift up, that hot air brush will definitely help you with both of those things. We're also going to be playing around a little bit with this Jon Renau Easy Hair Peace Out Contour Creme. I really like this stuff. I use it a lot, particularly on wigs that are really shaggy in the front. I like it when it looks kind of piecey, you know, like early 80s, not quite seen, but not seen, you know, kind of shags in the front. And then it's got all this layering on the sides. I was kind of like, all right, so the 90s are coming back. I'm gonna show you this one more time with just me taking over so you can see the smoked plum really well. Like, the 90s are making a comeback. I kind of loved all those shaggy hairstyles, you know. The thing is, though, I wanted to make it a little bit more, you know, contemporary looking. So I thought one thing to do would be to incorporate kind of a deliberately, unique texture pattern. So where you really get that is here in the back. How's that look, honey?
That looks fine.
Okay, because I can't really see what I'm doing. But
No, looks good.
if you can see, the texture in the back alternates between kind of like deconstructed wavy bits and straight bits. And it's meant to look a little crazy on purpose, you know, like
Jen likes the funky look of it.
I love stuff like this. Now the thing is, though, you have to play around with it a little bit to get it to lay the way you want, depending on what you want, right? Because she's going to have that kind of unkempt appearance and she's going to be flat packed. So like I said, I think just anticipate that this one looks best when you style her a little bit. And I figured if I introduce her that way right off the bat, then that'll make things easier on everybody. The cool thing is, as you play with her, she gets all these cute little funky layers. Just such a cute cut. Let me do my little turn one more time. This is a hard front wig. So she's just like Felix in Cat Construction. Okay, I'm going to show you some more about her. Before I do we have any questions or anything, honey?
All right. Well, Helen says, love the style. Kristen says, charisma is gorgeous and seriously cool.
Thank you.
Jen says, oh, wow, love the back. Very different than anything I have.
That's what I was trying for. Thank you.
Desktop Kitty says, were the 90s look ever really gone?
Right? That stuff was very flattering.
Wynn says, oh, the back is the best. Faith says, wow, beautiful. I already mentioned Jen saying the funky look of it.
Yeah.
Kathleen says, exactly, so pretty.
Thank you.
I think we're caught up on that.
All right, sweet. Well, I've got more to show you, so I'm going to take over the screen again. Bloop.
All right.
We're small again. Okay, so that's my moon kitty. So before I go into that, I just want to let you know, I want to invite you to a little cocktail contest. We're looking for good drink ideas to incorporate in the mix. You know, maybe alternate Nigel's with some of yours. And to do that, we will need some of your recipes. They can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. We do a little of both. I usually have one of each during each live stream. Sometimes I just go completely non-alcoholic. I love tea, you know, so I have a gajillion. I have an entire cabinet that is literally just full of tea flavors because I love tea so much. So, I mean, literally, you could come up with anything. If it sounds good, we'll try to make it. And we might have a little gift in it for you for you giving us a good idea, and we'll give you a shout out if we make your drink. So if you want to do that, real informal, just go ahead and leave it as a comment on the replay. So that way everybody can see it, and, you know, we can all kind of just benefit from each other's amazing beverage ideas.
All right.
So the colors for tonight's demo of Charisma are the ones I'm wearing right now, which is Smoke Plum-R, which is a dark ashy mauve plum with dark brown roots. We're also going to be showing you Moonlit Orchid probably right after. Well, no, we'll do the South Beach Sands right after that, which is a dark sandy blonde. It's a light golden brown with light caramel brown. So there's a tiny, tiny little bit of light auburn in there in that caramel brown. Dark ash blonde, which really kind of neutralizes some of that, and light beige blonde with short, medium brown roots. I would consider this like a kind of like a dark sandy blonde with just a hint of warmth to give it a little bit of balance. But it's an overall kind of cool color. And then the Moonlit Orchid is a rooted tipped fashion lilac. It's cool medium ash brown roots on a dynamic blend of lilac, and it's really lilac. Really pretty, kind of like smoky purple color, muted violet and light gray. And this is the heat-friendly version, so it's going to be a little bit more matte and a little bit less shimmery and dynamic. So if you see this in the Wigs Forever line, in some of our non-heat friendly wigs, you'll notice right away that the color is much more vibrant and it's got kind of like this silvery shimmer to it. It's like one instance where the shiny reflective fiber actually really adds something to it. I feel the same way about the Mermaid Kisses. I think the shiny fiber actually makes it look more like ripples on the water. So all of the wigs and colors that we're going to be demoing tonight are in stock right now and ready to ship at CysterWigs.com. So there you go. So this is what Charisma looks like in chocolate icing R. So this was what I was actually thinking of Liz when I was doing this, because I knew that she would actually love this, because this color looks super cool on this wig. And you can see she's deliberately crazy looking. It really shines through in a highlighted color. Smoke Plum doesn't really have any highlights. But just a really, really, really interesting cut. The texture is right up my alley. I like things that make me look like I would be fun to hang out with. And I think that this hair kind of makes you look like somebody who'd be fun to hang out with. And you can see the back, you can see the sides. So I'll leave that up there for just a moment. And we can kind of chit chat for a bit if you want, honey.
Sure. Liz is saying nice and dark. I do love it. We both look so good in these cool tones. Jen says, so pretty. I love that color and purchased already.
Awesome.
Meredith says, hi, sorry I'm late. Don't matter where, Meredith. Hi.
Yeah, we're happy to join us. Thanks for saying hi.
Yeah. What else we got? Kathleen says, I love the Moonlit heat-friendly Moonlit Orchid, one of my favorite colors.
Yeah.
What else we got? Jen says, me too. Love Republic of Tea. Have so many varieties. So do we.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Lots of them. Jackie says, I've never worn a dark wig, but I can't stop staring at this plum close-up, wondering if I dare.
It's a great color for fall. I've literally been recommending it. When I wrote about this on my Patreon, I made sure that I emphasized it, I think, like twice or maybe even 3 times. I'm like, get the smoke plum. It looks so good in this wig. It's so good for fall.
That style looks really good in polar ice.
Doesn't it, though? I was so amazed at how they were able to, because I mean, I was worried that the factory was not going to be able to understand how to translate what is normally a tipped color into something, you know, on a wig that really can't have a tipped color. And they stacked it, and it looked fantastic. I'm just so impressed with how well they pulled that off, for sure.
Faith says, love it. Already put my order into 2 colors. I was looking forward to tonight. Thank you, Faith.
Excellent. Well, I hope that you will share your images with us and let us know how it looked on you. We're always interested in that sort of thing, because the thing is, like, you know, everybody looks different. And one thing that, you know, I feel like I was able to do really well before that I might not be so good at now is I was able to represent an underrepresented group here on YouTube, you know, because I was plus size when I started this. So it just goes to show that, you know, everybody needs representation. Everyone needs, you know, it helps so much when you can see what these things look like on somebody that looks like you. You know, it's the next best thing to seeing it on yourself. And so the more people who share that kind of thing, the better, ultimately, because then it gives people the opportunity to kind of get a better glimpse and imagine what it would look like on them. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Meredith says, is the top front of this similar to Bardot?
It is. This is the same cap construction that it was on Bardot, Felix, Ainsley, Grayson, any of the ones that we've made that have permatease on the top. I will say that to me, and it might just be because I'm growing more hair, so there's more underneath my cap, but this definitely fits a little true to size. So I made sure that I put that in these slides as well, that it fits true to size. So you'll see that reiterated later, but it's so nice I wanted to say it twice. You know what I mean? I mean, it gives me good coverage, but you can see that you can see my tape, right? So it is not as big as the Wigs Forever line, which is basically custom to fit my gigantic head. All right, let's see what else we got in the slideshow. Here's the inside of Charisma. So this is what the interior of the wig looks like. I tried to take a lot of pictures. You can see there's felt on the ear tabs. There's a little bit of net. It's got a cute little moon kitty tag. There's felt at the nape. The adjusters are the, I believe, raw adjusters, I want to say. Well, we have one right here. Yeah. So they are, yeah, they're the hook adjusters. We have hook adjusters in the back of these. And let's see here. This is what the top looks like up close. And you can see this is, by the way, not a styled wig. So this still has the taco head. I want to make sure I showed that, because that is something that comes from flat packed wigs. And again, a little bit later, we're going to show you how one of the ways where you can combat that. It's one of the things I did to this wig.
Well, that's a good question that follows into what Jackie's just asked. Do you have this steamed over, Heather?
No, I do not. This wig comes with a right hand part, and I recommend not changing the part. You can kind of see, and I wanted to make sure I showed this too. You can kind of see on the cap itself that there is a section of the cap that has more permatease than the rest of the cap. That is literally where the part goes. And that's because I wanted to keep the permatease on the rest of the cap to a minimum. So that way it would still have kind of natural density, and you would have the ability to get, you know, as little or as much volume on the top of it as you wanted. But one of the issues I had, for example, with Bardot was that I didn't like it that in some of the like in Tahitian Sunset, you could see the wefts. And that's part of the reason why we sold her at a huge discount when we released her, and we released her separately from the rest of that launch, because I really didn't like that. So this is one of the ways that we're trying to experiment with, trying to correct for that. So we reinforce the part with a little additional permatease, so that way the wefting is not as noticeable. And my hope is that that kind of fixes some of the issues that we had with Bardot. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how you guys like it. I hope that you'll send me some feedback, and we'll go from there.
Well, Liz says, I've had no problem with taco head on your wigs. I just put it on a wig stand and spritz it with water, put it in front of a fan on low, and voila. Oh, yeah. It doesn't take much. Gravity will do the trick. You know, there are lots of ways. But if you want more volume, the hot air brush is the way to go, or hang it upside down. Get it wet, hang it upside down to dry. Well, Jackie has clarified. I meant, does it stay over like the way you are wearing it now? It isn't falling in your face. No, it stays like this. It's styled like this, right? So it's definitely styled with a very strong part, and that keeps the hair from flopping in the face. It's also a heat-friendly fiber, so it's slightly stiffer to begin with. And Kathleen says, is there more hair at the part as well? There is slightly more. The whole thing is slightly reinforced compared to the rest of the top of the cap. So yes, good observation there, and good question. All righty, good stuff. Okay, so what sets Charisma apart, as I mentioned earlier, but just in case you missed it, is her texture, particularly in the back, and I'll show it again in just a moment. Charisma features a unique alternated wavy texture that alternates wavy sections and straight ones. So it looks messy on purpose. Now, this is a heat-friendly wig. So if you don't like the texture in the back, you can always straighten it. You can also add a more uniform curl if that is more your speed too. She will look really pretty curled. I've been experimenting with hot rollers. I think that that's the way to go sometimes with these. So, but yeah, she's super cute. We'll have to show you some more of the colors here too.
Here's that texture up close on the Rose Blush R, so you can really see it. You can see that it definitely alternates straight and curly, straight and curly. And the top is predominantly straight. The front is also predominantly straight, and that is by design. Again, it's heat friendly, so if you want it to be more uniform, by all means, do your thing. But I wanted to show you that this is meant to look kind of like controlled chaos, you know? And it is a fashion wig with a basic cap. You know, we want to keep the price as low as possible on these, even in spite of all the logistics and inflation and crazy stuff. We're going to try our best to keep it that way. Small amounts of felt built into the cap for comfort, as I showed you earlier. If you missed that, make sure you catch that on the replay. Premium silky heat-friendly synthetic hair can be styled up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's an average cap to me. It fits true to size. It has hook adjusters in the back with felt at the nape. Those are the measurements. It's really light on. And yeah, I mean, I've had it on for going on an hour now at this point. It's been very comfortable. I took a bunch of pictures with it yesterday. And in fact, we've been stalled on releasing poor Charisma here since July when she arrived because reasons, but essentially we're tiny and this is a lot of work in a nutshell, not to get too complainy about it. And so it just took a while. Plus, I'm working on a new website, as I mentioned last week. So this poor Charisma kept getting pushed off to the side until I was like, you know what? Whatever. I just need to do this. I need to like schedule a day, take some pictures. We need to get this done. So incrementally over the course of the last few months, Nigel and I have been taking pictures of Charisma in all kinds of different types of lighting on different kinds of mannequins with different kinds of face shapes. And then last night I started taking them with myself, which is what these images are from. And again, my concealer game was on point last night. But yeah, so I really had a lot of fun playing with this wig. I think it's precisely because she's so messy that it doesn't necessarily, like, you don't have to worry about whether or not the hair is sitting in the right place. Once you get it in place, after you do the initial styling, because as I mentioned, she looks best when you style her just a little bit. But after the initial styling, you can kind of set it and forget it. It kind of stays in place really, really well. And I think it looks really cute. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this part of the thing so we can chat with folks. We got any comments, questions?
Well, Wilma Knickers Fit says, evening, late on deck. Oops. Hi.
We're glad you could join us.
Meredith says, is the part in front more similar to Poppy or Bardot or neither?
That's a good question too. I would say it's probably similar to both because they both have something in common that some of the other ones don't. And I would say the same is true probably for Ainsley and Grayson. They have an open front, as in they don't have fringe, right, that covers up the hard front. You can put a fringe in if you want, or you can just kind of incorporate it with your hair or use makeup or just run with it. But the other two have fringe. So their parts lay a little bit differently. But I would say all the ones that have an open front have a very similar front part area where it is hard. And as I said, there are things you can do to work around that, or you can just kind of run with it. It's up to you. But it's definitely not going to look like a lace front wig, right? But not everybody wants lace front wigs. So.
Ro Vega says, hi, Heather and Nigel. I'm really enjoying the wigs you're creating.
Thank you.
Excellent. And Meredith says, thank you for the insightful response. That's very helpful.
Oh, good. I'm nothing but pedantic. So I've got that all day long. So Nigel, too. I see the facial expression that you are making right now, honey.
What? I'm smiling.
I know. You are cute.
Well, so are you.
All right.
I think that's caught up with all the questions.
Okay. So yeah. I think it's time for a color change.
Color change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hand me that South Beach Sands?
All right.
And I'll do another little turn in this one before I take it off.
Have you pinned this on?
I don't think so. This next color is very highlighted, so you're really going to see the texture a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, and I haven't really done much to style the one. You can see my trainer bands. I didn't do much to style the South Beach Sands. I just took a hot brush to it a little bit, and Nigel's going to show you what I did because I did it in front of him to see if he could duplicate it. So we're gonna.
I need a bit of liquid courage first, so I'll mix my cocktail of the week before I get down to that. Okay?
All right, so here I'll put this on, and then I will turn it over to you. Okay. I'm just going to comb her a little bit with this wide tooth comb to help kind of integrate that layering just a little bit. And I've not washed this or anything, just a little bit of very basic styling with a hot air brush.
NYT Mom says, hi!
Hello!
And Kristen says, I just ordered Charisma, the color Polar Ice R.
It looks so good. This will be
my first Polar Ice R. Yay!
That color turned out so good. We were talking about that earlier, so I think you made a good choice. I have to stop looking in the camera while I try to do this because the part.
Yeah, I every so often I go to adjust my beard and I'm like, oh, that makes it worse.
Yeah, I gotta just look at the mirror.
Wilma Nickersfit says, I've decided to make the move from toppers to wigs because I have so many of the wigs like Ainsley, Vaughn, Grayson, and now Charisma. Big step for me. Woohoo! Wash hands. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
That's fantastic. I mean, wigs are so much easier than toppers. I love toppers in the summer. See, I just did it again. I miss being able to wear toppers in the summer because they're a lot lighter. But, oh, God, I don't miss the clips. And my wigs, by the way, don't have any clips in them for that reason. You can add clips if you like. You know, really feel free. Please make them your own. If you buy them and decide to keep them, you know, they are yours and they're your hair. So make them your own.
Hey!
What's that?
Sean says, hey, you two, looking amazing.
Hey!
Thank you, Sean. We're going to do a cocktail recipe shortly. Hang around for that.
All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this John Renault cream. Oh, this will work out great because I can go wash my hands while you're doing your cocktail. Whoop!
Yes.
Teamwork.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so have you guys ever used this stuff before? It's like a pomade. It smells nice. It smells kind of like peaches almost, or like mango maybe. And I'm going to just kind of warm it up in my hands so that way it's not like streaky, you know, kind of disappears into your fingers. And then I'm going to work it into this top to kind of help piece out the layers, hence the name of the product. And really get it on the ends. That's one of the best places to get it.
Jen says she used something similar by Beauty Mark.
Yes, I actually think they're very similar products. But yes.
Same goop, different label sort of thing?
No comment from me. No comment. I can only speculate.
Maintaining a politic silence.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But I mean,
open mouth, insert foot. Nigel's general instructions.
All right, so see how I got that side to kind of piece out at the top, and now I'm gonna work this a little bit more at the bottom.
Shelly is asking what concealer you used.
Nars. I'm obsessed with Nars's cream concealer, and you know what? When I go to wash my hands, when Nigel is making his cocktail, and by the way, I'm getting a little bit of shedding, but it's actually not that bad. It's like a couple strands that are just sticking to my hands because of this contour cream. I'll go grab it so I can show you. And I've actually found a really good foundation color, which I think is another thing that is helping a lot with my concealer game because it matches so seamlessly. I actually contacted their customer service. This is going to sound like a big plug for Nars, but I contacted their chat customer service, and yeah, they were able to hook me up because I knew that I wanted something that matched that creme brulee. It's creme brulee. It's the cream pot and creme brulee is the concealer that I've been using, and it matches my skin perfectly. It's so good. But it's because it's so hard for me to find things that are like rose gold undertones. They're either just rose or they're gold. And sometimes some people like me need something that's got a little bit of both.
I got to share these two comments.
Yeah.
Cat B says, hi guys, I'm working, driving big truck, so can't comment, but I'm here and can't wait to get my charisma.
Yay!
Well, that's excellent. And now I've got Weird Al's truck driving song stuck in my head. I'm driving a truck, driving a big old truck, heading down the highway, the accelerator's stuck. Got these 18 wheels a rolling until the break of dawn, 'cause I'm driving a truck. with my high heels on.
That's
I
fun.
love that song. It's fantastic. And Kristen says, I wore Felix and Rose Blush R out on Monday, and when I went to a doctor's appointment and then dined out, went shopping, at least 8 compliments.
Oh, wow!
And long, excited compliments.
Yay!
And
How does that look in the back? 'Cause I can't see.
looks good.
Okay, good.
Jackie says, please show the name of the pomade again. I was busy ordering my wig.
Sure. This
Well, thank
is.
you.
Yeah, thank you. This is the John. We sell this too. This is the John Renault Easy Hair Piece Out Contour Fiber Creme. Again, it smells a little bit like mangoes, so it's definitely scented, but it's a kind of pleasant fruity scent. I love this stuff on this wig because it really, really brings out the best of it.
Wilma says, did I miss if you said when Charisma will be on Amazon?
We don't know yet if we're going to have enough to put on Amazon.
Yeah.
So if that's something you're interested in, contact our customer service. John is usually in here, and if not, we'll let him know.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out a way to let you get in on this.
Oh, this is good news.
Yeah.
John says, all good, mate. I'm working with Christina and Scott from the casino. Please say hi to them for me, because I like those folks. You look so happy. I love how happy you are now.
Aww.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. That's great. That's great.
Isn't
Thank
he
you.
cute when he's happy?
Yeah, you didn't get to see much of that at the casino.
Hey, I've visited.
Ooh,
that
I'm such a bitch.
Dude, I've visited that casino. I can totally understand it. Like, especially when he started talking about like it raining tar.
Oh yeah, the rain of tar. Oh boy. Oh, Cat says, driving my truck with my Callista on. It's
Yes.
outstanding.
Okay. I am sufficiently gooped and glopped. I'm just gonna play with it just a little bit more.
This time I maintain the politic silence. John says, so cute, and I love the hair.
Thank you. I'm gonna just take a little bit of a finer tooth comb to the front here so it looks just a little bit less like I've got a greasy patch right there. All right, cool.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Wilma says, that's fine. I have a shipping address with a company you used to recommend, so life is good. One way or another.
That's right. Excellent. I still like what was it called? My US or something like that. I mean I really like that. It's just they stopped service somewhere in 2020 and we couldn't continue to recommend them.
Yeah.
But I always had good experiences with them. So if they're back up and running, good.
Oh, that would be excellent.
So I'm just kind of smoothing this down to show people what that looks like if you leave it kind of poofy in the back and smooth in the front. Whee! You can get, it looks like it's very, very stacked when you do that. Like, whoa. So very layered. So shaggy. I think I'm going to leave it like this.
Zoinks! Hey, Scoob! Dig this crazy pantry!
I think this looks really cute.
Yeah, it does. But then again, it's on you, so.
It doesn't actually look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
No, I know, but you said Shaggy and I just couldn't resist.
Zoinks!
Zoinks!
Egads.
Cheryl says, I didn't know what to think about this SBS color, but it looks like a good color for me.
It's really pretty. It's cooler than you would think, but it does have that little bit of auburn. But it's such a warm color up against everything else that just really goes poop. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands because they're all gummy, and I'll let Nigel take over for a little bit. So I will be back. I'm gonna let you move my chair because again, gummy.
Right. Okay. Here, let me get the door for you.
Door. I might not put this stuff in the other one because.
Fair enough.
Oh, so gloppy. But it does dry after a while.
Yeah.
I used a lot of it. Here, you.
Shut it again.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All righty, folks. This is a little something I whipped up earlier today. Trying to figure out, something light and refreshing. Nothing too terribly complicated. But I'm trying to think. I think it was Liz who recommended limoncello at one point for us. So we're having a go with that today. Let's get my quote-unquote whiskey stones into the glass. All right. Chilling without dilution. Love it. All right, now what we're going to be using today is we're going to be using some limoncello. Try and get that so it isn't glared. And some elderflower liqueur. And this is going to be a really easy one. Like I said, I tested it out earlier. Basically, you just need one measure of limoncello. In each glass. Dripping it on the table, which is why I always put down a towel for these things, because I am clumsy. And one shot of the elderflower liqueur in each glass. And elderflower and citrus are historically well combined together. In fact, there's probably, I think if I recall correctly, there's some citrus in some elder already. And then once you've got your booze in the glass, you just top it up with some chilled water. Let it swirl around. And there you go. So limoncello and elderflower refresher. Good for quenching thirst and soothing the throat. I'll leave Heather's right there. I'll put mine over here. Heather is back with a big handful of product.
So much makeup.
And I will move this aside for her.
Yeah, I'll just rattle off the stuff that I use. This is like a magical base combination. I'm so excited. I'm still kind of finessing it a little bit, but this has been working out for me really, really well. And I'll have Nigel put these in the description or in the comment section or something.
Yeah.
Actually, in the comment section might be better. Urge people to comment.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm wearing. This is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Creme Brulee Light 2.5. It has a rose base, like a rose gold base. And it works so brilliantly. The thing is, there aren't many foundations that go with this. And so I actually experimented a bit. And while Nars has some colors that get close, they're either a little too rosy or a little bit too gold. So they're not exactly like this color of concealer. But I found that the Makeup Forever R230, the R for rose, works really, really well. And so it kind of threw me for a loop because honestly, the model they use, she is not a Caucasian person. So, you know, perhaps I need to be a little bit more open-minded about what people with my skin tone look like. So it was kind of like a learning experience, you know? But it was cool because like when I found out that this worked out for me, I was like, wow, like I'm wearing a billion tons of makeup. I'm wearing so much makeup, but it looks so much softer because the foundation shade actually matches my neck a little bit better and all that stuff. So I'm really down with it. And powders, I use kind of a combination of powders because I try to be really careful about the powder that I put on my face. So I use Pat McGrath Light 1 Skin Fetish Sublime. And that's what's on the majority of my face in a very, very, very light dusting. And then I love her blurring powder so much that this is like the third one that I've used since I discovered it. And I'm already kind of wrecking it. So this is really great for putting on top of blemishes. I mean, it's supposed to be an under eye powder, but I put it on top of my zits and it helps them just kind of like disappear when the lights are on, particularly, which I love. And under my eyes, I use this Kogendo My Fancy Brightening Moisture Powder in Brightening Pink. Because again, I have kind of like a rosy undertone. So I use that under my eyes and it's kind of reflective, almost like a highlighter. And so when you're using studio lights, it makes those dark circles really disappear, which I appreciate. Because I've been kind of bummed out. I used to get filler under my eyes, full disclosure, because it helps hide the bags, the big bags and the deep, deep, like purple. For me, it almost looks like I have a black eye because my eyes are so round and deep set. And so, you know, that really softened them up, but I don't want to have to keep doing that, you know. So I've been trying to play around with my concealer game to see if I can get away with, you know, cutting back a little bit on that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely seeing the dark circles come back when I don't wear makeup. I definitely start to look tired all the time. So I swear I'm actually sleeping. So I should probably turn with this thing on so you guys can see the back of it a little bit better. Play with it a little bit. I didn't put as much stuff in the back of this one as I did the front of it.
Oh, we've got Wendy James
nice.
just tuned in. We are now on Australian Daylight Savings Time, so you now start at 8:30 a.m. Sunday instead of 7:30 a.m. By the way, Nigel, did you look up the recipe from the other week for white Xmas? No, that isn't. Was that did you send that in via email or in a comment section? Because I haven't been able to look at the comment section for a while, and we've had trouble getting the some of the emails to come through for recipes and so forth, because Tina tried to send a tea recipe in, and we ended up
I don't know if they've got like an aggressive filter going on that filters.
I'm not sure if the spam filter is
we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. But, so no, I'm afraid we don't have that. But if you'd be so kind as to put it in the comment section below, that would be super, and then I'll try and find it after the broadcast. And I want to be transparent about why it seems like we don't know what's going on there. That's because I literally don't handle ops anymore. That's John and his team. So like John and Jamie and Enrique and them. So they handle it. And I basically help handle the marketing and the product development and the sourcing. And that's what the division is. So when it comes to operational questions like that, I'm not always going to know the answers these days, because I had to, it was tough because I didn't actually want to hand that over, but you can't do everything all the time. And sometimes, you know, the better leader delegates, right? So we delegate stuff. That's important. Faith, we're gonna, when the broadcast is over, I'm gonna put specific the list of all the stuff that Heather mentioned in the comments below. So if you come back in a day or two, you'll be able to get everything.
And I am legit pummeling that. Like, I'm very close to pan because I use it so much. And you know, the thing is, I've had this concealer for a while now. I've been using this color for ages, and it never clicked because I'm so red in some parts of my face and so like sallow skinned in others that it was hard for me to figure out what color I was, because I was a little bit pink and a little bit gold. And as I mentioned in the undertones broadcast, that's so tough when you're a little bit of this. That's why it's so hard when people have olive skin tones, because they're a little cool and a little warm. That's why they have that green undertone. So it's tough for them too. But anybody who's in between, it's just really hard to find colors that work well, regardless of how deep or light your skin tone is. So I was really stoked, and I realized, oh wow, you know what? This actually matches, and it's actually thanks to a zit, because I had a zit in like the red portion of my face, and I was dabbling it in there. I'm like, you know what? This literally matches my neck, my everything, except for like the reddest parts of my face. So.
Oh, that's nice.
And then started looking for a foundation that matched it. So what'd you see, honey?
Jackie says, I just ordered my smoked plum. The piece out wasn't on the product list today, but I will check it out later. Thank you for making me so much more brave than when I started my journey with you.
Oh!
Isn't that good?
Yes! Thank you for sharing that, Jackie. I'm so happy to help. Seriously. I mean, I feel that way about most of the people who are in this industry. Like, they genuinely just want to help people. So that is lovely. Thank you. That really makes my night, honestly.
And Meredith says, I bought so many wigs. John asked me if I own my own wig shop. Whoopsie.
That's one of the funny things about John. He can get like right to the point. Oh, someone's asking, what is similar to Jackson? I love mine and have We do not have any wigs right now that are like Jackson with a lace front. We did have our Annika, which we're still thinking about whether or not we want to make that one again. That one had a mono top and a lace front, but as of now, I think that the closest thing you're going to find is maybe Seduction by Main Attraction, because that one has it's a little bit shorter than Jackson, particularly in the back, but the layering is very similar and the length is very approachable. It's a little longer than this Charisma wig is, and it's got the same overall shape, whereas Charisma here is definitely a little funkier than Jackson. Jackson's a little bit more like a conventional version of something like this. So, anything else, honey?
Wendy says, Heather, I found that since wearing face masks, my face is breaking out. Didn't before. Have you found this to be the case also for you? By the way, you're looking lovely.
Oh, thank you. No, and that's because I am a stickler about washing my face a lot. And I don't wear makeup when I'm going out anymore because I felt like that was just getting trapped on my mask. And that was causing a problem that I would break out from. I don't know if there's any way to avoid that if you're wearing makeup with a mask, because it's just going to rub up against that area to the point where some of it's going to get in one of your pores, right? I mean, at least that's my reasoning. And so I try not to wear makeup, and if I do, it's like mascara and stuff that's above the eyes, so that way I don't get that issue. But if you actually don't wear makeup and you're breaking out like that, try switching to masks you can wash in the washing machine if you're not already using that method. It could be that you're sensitive to whatever the disposable mask is made of. It could also be that maybe you're just reusing the same one too often, or you're just I don't know. It's hard to say. There's so many things that could be causing that, but I mean, for me, I'm like super acne prone. So I mean, the minute I no longer have to be in makeup, it's coming off, and I'm very picky. You probably noticed I use very high-end products, and it's not to be snobby. It's because they're less acne-genic. Some of the brands over the counter though are pretty awesome. Like I really like, as far as inexpensive brands go, I think that, Revlon and Maybelline have some solid products for being, drugstore brands. They're fantastic. CoverGirl too. They all have some solid products. And I think that Neutrogena is highly overlooked, but if you're very sensitive and prone to breaking out, they're a good brand to try. Sorry for going on a tangent.
No, that's okay. I mean, the thing is, I've got this silicone mask that Heather got me. She got one for each of us. And it forms a great seal on your nose and mouth, even if you got a mustache and a beard, to the point where you do not feel, if you put it on right, you do not feel air escaping and fogging up your glasses or anything. It just all comes through the filter. And that's really good because when you put it on, and you wear it for a while, you take it off at night, you can clean it with like rubbing alcohol or anything like that and really sterilize it for next time. So that really helps. If that might be an option, just saying.
All right. So I don't know if I have any more slides in my slideshow. I think that was about it. Maybe I should go over some of those measurements and stuff one more time, just in case somebody missed it or wants to see it one more time.
I've got a banner for that.
Yeah, I do.
There. It's a
wow!
thing. Price, basic cap, height-friendly fiber, small amounts of permatease on top. Average, large cap size. Front 8 inches, sides 12 to 14 inches, nape 4 inches, overall 11 inches, weight 4.1 ounces.
Honey, you are so on the ball.
I tried to be.
That is fantastic. Here, hold on. What? No, what am I toasting? What is that?
The way of the house husband.
Do it again.
Goku Shufudo. Kanpai.
I have no idea what you're saying.
That's cheers in Japanese.
How did you say that?
Kanpai. Kanpai. Kanpai.
Kanpai. Aw, that's fun. See, we learn something new every week.
Jerry says every time I hear Shaggy, "It wasn't me" gets stuck in my head.
It wasn't me. I don't even know what he's saying to be able to sing it. It's just that cadence.
Cheryl says, can you give us a link to that mask? Okay, link
He'll
to
put it in the description when we're done.
Mask. And Dory says, thank you for the silicone tip. You're most welcome, Dory. Oh, Shaggy. Now you've got me thinking of Severus Snape.
Yeah. By the way, I do want to say something about the silicone masks. If you are like me and you are a bougie bitch who has fillers, don't use the silicone mask because it will literally smush up against your face.
Yeah.
It won't hurt it or anything like that. But if you have filler, it could move your filler around. So that's why I did not use the silicone mask. Even though I bought one for myself, I've been using a really sparkly mask that I can wash in, and it has a filter. It has a filter that I can wash by hand and put inside of it, and it's really pretty. It like sparkles. But he uses the like industrial grade silicone one, and because I'm partially modified, I try to make sure that I don't smush it because that could cause problems. So I use a cloth mask.
Yeah, I've also got cloth masks as well, but for the industrial grade stuff, I use the silicone. Like if we have to go out to doctor's appointments or
See, if we have to go to doctor's offices, I usually just double mask it, Like they usually have masks at the door, so I'll like grab one and then put my sparkly pretty mask over it because I literally look like a really hot ninja. Well, this part looks like hot ninja when it's on. The rest of the body betrays that narrative, but
No, honestly, you could be like a glamorous Melina.
Ooh.
At a black tie and tails function.
She's probably my favorite Mortal Kombat character. She's very metal. She is very savage.
Come on, Scorpion. He's got a skull for a head. How metal is that?
But dude, Melina is a promiscuous lady. She gives that appearance, and it's very attractive. I don't know. She does her stuff. If you have no idea what we're talking about, that's okay. It's Mortal Kombat. We grew up in that era.
This has to be mentioned. Arla Kensington says, I got featured on your Instagram feed and my heart almost exploded. Check out my profile pic. Who designed that hair? Heather did. And it's awesome.
And you look fantastic in it. Oh, yes. By the way, good news. They're finally making progress with the Danicas that I ordered in holographic blonde. So we should have that before Black Friday. I mean, it was supposed to be here in April, but whatever. These challenging times, etc. We will just keep trucking along.
Which Neutrogena product did you say is the one to use for breakout, says Wendy?
Oh, the stuff I used to be obsessed about from Neutrogena. I mean, some of their makeup is really great, and I would really recommend any of their face products. They don't always blend the best, but they're definitely very good for acne prone and sensitive skin because the whole line's meant to be that way. One thing that I highly recommend is their overnight repair, like wrinkle intensive overnight repair. It's like a silver tube that has a blue banner across it. That stuff is amazing. It has a really shelf stable form of retinol in it, very small dose, so it won't irritate your skin. And that stuff helped me with all of my acne scars. People ask me all the time why I don't have more than just like a couple of acne scars. And that's, even though I've had like cystic acne my whole life, that stuff is amazing, particularly if you just want a really low dose, inexpensive kind of retinol that you can use from home. So I'm not being paid by Neutrogena. It's just, I really think that product saved my skin when I was in my 20s. And seriously, it literally saved my skin. It's fantastic. So it's the Wrinkle Intense Overnight Repair or something like that from Neutrogena. I'll have Nigel put it in the comments, but that stuff of all of their products is my favorite thing that Neutrogena has ever done for my skin. I sing its praises.
Hannah says, hello, Heather and Nigel. Hope you two are a fantastic Saturday.
Oh,
yes. Thank you. Especially now that we've got some cocktails.
Yeah, and we're hanging out with our friends. I mean, this is
hanging out with nice people, always good.
We all collectively have a social life. That is validation, baby. Not a single one of us can be like, we don't have anywhere to go on a Saturday night, right?
No, we're all hanging together.
That's right.
Drinking stuff, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, whatever.
What's that thing again?
Kanpai.
Kampai.
Kanpai.
That's right.
Funny thing about the Japanese letter, it sounds like a cross between an N and an M. Oftenly, so, like when you do, you talk about the Japanese alphabet, you go a, I, U, E, O, Kaki, Kuke, Ko, Sashi, Suse, So, and then you go, the last two.
You're rattling all this off as if I know this stuff.
Well, the last two are wa and and it just basically sounds like So
I don't even know if I can make that sound.
So like N and M at the same time. Kanpai.
Oh, you are in fact the best.
Oh, shucks.
I mean, who else would bring up this stuff?
I
I think it's time for you to
attempt the wig thing.
Attempt to do the thingy on the thing. Yeah.
I will attempt to do the wig thing.
So
With courage.
We've got this. It is a Moonlit Orchid variant of the thingy I've got on my head, which is a Charisma from CysterWigs Limited. And again, she's got that funky alternating pattern of straight hair, curly hair, straight hair, curly hair that alternates all down the back. But it definitely has a little bit of taco head. You can see she's got a little bit of a crease where she was folded in the packaging and laid flat. So what Nigel is going to do is demonstrate how to undo that a little bit. There are multiple ways, by the way, that you can do this. Things that have been recommended so far, I can talk, are...
It's not that much booze.
I know. It's mostly water, but seriously, I'm like stuttering like crazy tonight. So essentially, you could do maybe just getting it wet, putting it on a mannequin head, or not a mannequin head. Those are expensive. Use like a styro head or something like that instead, or like a block head, even if you're in a pinch. And just let it dry in that rounded shape. Just that helps a ton. You know, people wash it and do that, and that works a ton. Another thing that works really well is I did a demonstration on Piper of how you can use a blow dryer, and Nigel's going to show you how you can use a hot air brush. So there are tons of ways, or at least 3. So slight hyperbole, but there are at least 3 or more, asterisk, ways that you could do this, and this is just one of them. So
well, you're in good company, you know, because Michael Palin is a stutterer.
Really?
And so's James Earl Jones, apparently.
The best speaker ever?
Yeah, James Earl Jones. I was just watching that thing about the making of the Star Wars saga that's like 2.5 hours long, so I try and fit a few minutes in when I can and talk about dubbing Darth Vader's voice, and he said, well, he wanted to go for Orson Welles, but figured it might be too well known, so he went for the voice that was born in Mississippi, grew up in Michigan, and was a stutterer. Me.
Oh.
James Earl Jones is one of those guys that the more I find out about, the more I I liked him a lot to begin with, but the more I find out about him, the more I like him.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I've felt that way about George Michael in the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
I've been kind of obsessed with George Michael because I feel like that poor guy, if he would have been famous now instead of in the 80s, he could have just been himself the whole time. And he would have been so much happier.
Yeah.
Because he was so talented and hot. And the thing is, like, we can appreciate people that are hot and not, you know.
Into us.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever, as long as we're not like creepers about it. She said as she was adjusting her pants. Seriously though, these are like almost like yoga pants, and so when I sit down, it's like they instantly try to ride up. So I'm like constantly battling.
Okay. Right, now the tip Heather showed to me was you take your taco head wig, and you can see it's definitely got the, well, move aside so you can see it's definitely got the little taco head ridge there. Stretch it out over one of these fake heads. There you go.
And take a look at the top of this before he proceeds, because he's got this right on so far. Take a look at how that's sitting. Like, you can actually see the crease in the top of this wig, right?
Ooh.
That's what we're trying to eliminate.
See that? There we go.
Yeah.
You can see the sort of lumpiness on the top there. Yeah, definitely. Bit of irregularity. So I should have worn a lighter shirt. Oh well. I'll just get my shirt off for this. Okay, and then you get one of these hot air brushes.
Yeah.
Crank it up to high. Sorry about the noise. Crank it up to high. Let it get warm. Let it get warm. While I'm waiting, I'll have some more cocktail.
And you could always mute it or something. I don't know. Do we need to mute it?
Yeah, let's see. Right. And once it's all nice and warm, yeah, just start applying it to the taco head portions from underneath. And just hold it there for a few seconds.
And check to see if the cap got warm. Because if the cap didn't get warm.
Yeah.
The goal is you're trying to get it warm so you can mold it. You're really trying to reshape the permatease on top.
Yeah, if you're not hearing that, Heather says you need to make sure the cap gets warm so you can reshape it.
And let them know they can do this with a blow dryer.
And Heather says you can also do this with a blow dryer. All righty. Yeah, I'm sorry this isn't exactly gripping, but it's a very useful tip. There we go. That's nice. All right. And if you concentrate on where the hair and the permatease is densest, right around the part, that's where you need to do the most work, really. And as you can see, that is already a lot rounder. And that is just from applying a hot air brush and then pulling and pressing a bit. So that's already done some wonders. I just need to do a little more, and then I'll turn it around and do the other way. So is this helping anyone? Are you folks learning stuff, I hope? Because otherwise this is just a lot of noise. Okay. That seems to have done rather nicely, I think. Yeah. That's come out a lot rounder. Good stuff. Okay. Take that out of the way, see what we got here. Whoops.
Woo! That does look a lot rounder. That already looks a lot better.
Okay.
Can I inspect your handiwork?
By all means.
I was putting some eye drops in. I'm blind as a bat, so I have these toric contact lenses, and anytime I wear eye makeup with my contact lenses, it's a little bit like a struggle. So I go off camera anytime they get dry, or any opportunity when they get dry.
Well, thank you, Jackie, but Heather taught me how to do this first time around.
And it's still a little warm. You did a great job, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really nice and softened up. So check this out. I mean, it hasn't completely styled the wig or anything. All it does is help soften up that taco head. And I should basically copyright Taco Head because that's funny, at least in context of wigs.
Dang it, now I want tacos.
I always want tacos.
Oh, Shelly's joined us. Hi, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly. So yeah, nicely done. Now there's one more thing I wanted him to show you, and it's how I got some of this layering to get so poofy on the Charisma that I wore earlier in Smoked Plum. If you didn't see that, check it out in the replay. And this one in South Beach Sands, which I will show you one more time. Hello. So here's the back of that. Hopefully those eye drops did not make a mess. Cool. So I'm going to show, well, he's going to show you how we did this because we both styled this one together.
Well, I did like two passes on it.
Hey, you did them well.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Funny little thing. Talk about who was it mentioned? I think the comments have skipped again. That. Ah, crap. One of the things I'm very keen on is voiceover work. I'd love to get into that myself at some point. Tina says, love James Earl Jones's voice and Barry White's too. Every time I hear one of the latest Applebee's commercials, I think about when I used to go roller skating.
Oh, yes. Barry White wrote some real jams to roller skate to.
You know it's really funny. I keep talking about Frank Welker to you.
Yeah.
Frank Welker is like the god of voiceover actors. He has the longest Internet Movie Database entry of all because he's done so many voices. Mostly he's famous for doing Fred from Scooby-Doo, but he also does characters like Megatron and so forth. But he also did Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, and he based that on Barry White. He tried to do a Barry White impression, and it came out, I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. Which
Can
is
I
just
have my
hilarious.
tumbler before you turn the thing on?
There you go. You want the fresh one? Freshened up?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
That's pretty good.
You stand there and look pretty. I will make you.
I am standing here and looking pretty. So how did you make that again?
Right. Very simple. One shot limoncello.
Now, what if you didn't want to water it down? What would you put in it instead? Anything?
If I didn't want to water it down, I wouldn't put anything in it.
Ah. Yeah,
But it'd be very thick and quite sweet.
I need all of my drinks to be heavily diluted. You know what's funny is if we had this camera on over here still, they'd be seeing nothing but my butt.
Okay, so
My apologies.
One shot limoncello, one shot St. Elder, and then water.
That's fantastic.
Definitely gonna need to wash this after.
Here, I'll get out of your way.
Towel. No need to apologize, my treasure. Here you go.
That's not strong, though, is it?
No, not really.
I am just a hideous lightweight.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Limoncello is sticky and I need to wash my hands.
All right.
Keep moving.
I will. No, I'll just go back to some of the other things I talked about earlier, just in case people need a recap or want to see things again, because there's nothing wrong with that, right? So here, let me just very briefly show you some of the things we discussed earlier, just in case you would like either a recap or etc. So this is the image I showed of Charisma. I literally just took these yesterday. They look great. Took them with my iPhone. That is the inside of Charisma. Took those this morning. That is what this wig looks like before you do what Nigel and I are showing you in these demonstrations. She's got some taco head going on, but it's easy to take care of, and then she's fun to play with. That is what Charisma looks like. She's got kind of a crazy texture that alternates wavy bits and straight bits. So she definitely has a deliberately messy chic look to her. And that's really what that looks like up close. Now, this is not a styled wig. So what you're looking at is what the wig will look like right out of the packaging without combing or fluffing or anything. That is what the back of this wig looks like in the buff. And you can see, you can play with her, do all kinds of fun stuff with the front. I was really feeling myself. I was having a good time last night taking these pictures. So it's a fashion wig with a basic cap It has lots of felt all throughout the cap, so not in huge quantities in any one space, but it is all over the cap. So you get some at the front hairline, you get some on the edges, you get some on the ear tabs, and all the way at the nape. It has hook adjusters, and it is made of a premium, silky textured, heat-friendly synthetic fiber. And those are her measurements. She's quite lightweight. You can see in this image, by the way, as cute as this rose blush art is, that I didn't style it. You can actually still see the crease in the top of the wig, right? I tried to show what the wig would look like without any styling at all, and then hopefully tackle what it'll look like with just a bare minimum of styling here in the live stream. So hopefully we're striking a good balance here. And all right, that's it.
Question popped up just now.
Yeah.
Sultan C says, I'm just now joining this live. Hi!
Hello!
Has there been any mention of getting more holographic Blonde-R wigs in stock? I haven't got one yet.
Yes, ma'am. We've got Danica coming, hopefully. Fingers crossed. You know? Say a little prayer or something, because we've been waiting on these since April. The things you hear on the news about the global supply chain being really, really bumpy right now, super true. Yes. Very, very, very true.
Wendy, you didn't miss Heather wearing the rose blush color yet. She used that in the promotional pics that we were showing in the slides, but we haven't worn it yet. We're just covering the South Beach Sands, the Moonlit Orchid.
But if you want, while you're doing the last part of the styling, I could go pop it on because I got it in the hallway.
Yeah, so you haven't missed it yet.
I could always just put it on. So yeah, we'll put that on before the live stream's over. How's that sound?
All right.
Yeah.
Right. So you're welcome. So
all right. So I think I should let you go ahead and do that, and I'll just go grab that rose blush. So that way you can actually see what these two colors look like compared to each other too. Why not, right?
Yeah. Okay. All righty. So the other part of the taco head defeating there we go, technique that Heather mentioned.
No, when you frame it like that, it makes me feel like you're talking about like one of the Ninja Turtles' arch nemesis.
Taco head?
He's just like a giant taco-headed man.
Well, they had pizza face. Taco head. Taco-headed pizza face. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles characters. Whoa, dude, that's like totally awesome. Tacos and pizza. No, gnarly. Same guy who did the voice of Michelangelo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did the voice of the Tick, which just blows my mind. Anywho, right. So the trick then is to get this warmed up again. And then when it's warm, take a top layer, wrap it around like that, let it sit for a second till it gets warmed up, and then unwrap and it will be a bit springier. So I'll do a little bit of that. And we'll see how it goes, eh? And you just really need to get the top layer done for the volumizing. You don't really need to hit the lower layers. Just the top layer is good enough. And it doesn't matter if it gets a bit tangled and messy because you can sort that out with your hands or your wide-tooth comb afterwards. You can already see this is starting to fluff itself out a bit. You monsters must lead such interesting lives. Bugs Bunny callback there.
I was just saying, you monsters must lead such interesting lives.
Oh no, I heard it and I laughed at it.
Ah, I didn't hear it because this is bloody loud.
It is loud. But luckily it's quick.
Yes.
You're doing a very good job.
Thank you, my treasure. And there we go.
I just got a finger comb her a little bit and she's
I'll
good.
let you do that.
All right.
Dang, that limoncello's good stuff.
It is nice. Okay, so let me inspect your handiwork here. It was definitely falling off the thing a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down.
I'm letting it kind of cool off.
No, I'm not going to pop it on, Kathleen. Wilma says, here's me thinking that moving from toppers to wigs will mean that I don't need as many hair gadgets. Wrong!
No, you won't.
Well, you can go for as many or as few hair gadgets as you like. That's the
right.
thing. We're not going to push anything on you. We're just giving you some handy tips, and if you want to go with them, fine. If you don't want to go with them, also fine.
That's right. I think
You do you.
The other thing is we have 2 different wig lines that we're making, and I do think that there is a difference between the two. Like with the Wigs Forever line, it's a little bit more ready to wear. You know what I mean? Like the prices are slightly higher. It's a slightly more premium product, even in the machine-made wigs. And even though it's a non-heat friendly fiber, the construction is really kind of deluxe for machine-made stuff. And so I think that if you need something that you don't have to style, that would be a much better line to start with, like with our Anya or something like that, because that fiber is pretty easy to work with. Especially if you want the texture that comes with it, you don't have to style it at all. It's meant to just have the style it comes with.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing is that with those wigs, they have a lot more packaging, so they're not as compacted. So you're not going to have to get rid of the taco head that comes from literally a flat packed wig. A flat packed wig, you know, gravity is going to have its way with it. And I'd rather just be honest about it, you know? So.
Sarah says, yay, you're still here. Just running late as I was teaching a lesson in China.
Oh, wow!
To China.
That's super cool.
Get the prepositions right, Nigel.
Now, I don't know if did you mention why we didn't turn the brush on? Like why we didn't have the rotation on?
Oh, I did not mention that, no.
Okay, so I was very specific with him and he was very good in duplicating. I told him.
But I forgot to mention it.
Yes, don't turn the brush rotation on. The real hazard with heat-friendly fiber is that you can pull it when it's warm and distort the fiber very easily. And you'll notice right away when you do this, because the hair itself will become elongated, it won't snap back, and it will lighten in color because the color within the fiber will actually distribute over a larger space, if that makes sense. So you don't want to turn the rotation on. You want to have control over what you're doing. And so it's much easier when you're just kind of gently turning it like a quarter turn with your wrist and then letting it go. And we're only doing the top part of the wig with this step because the top part of Charisma is straight already. She's easy to work with and you won't mess up the style. Whereas if you do this all the way down the hair, you could straighten out the hair, which if that's your goal, cool. But if it's not, then just be aware.
Yeah.
I got to keep practicing these tutorials so I can get better at it.
Faye says, I appreciate Ready to Wear so much. I'm missing the girly hair skills chipset.
Yeah, I can only do stuff when it's easy.
Well, same here.
Yeah.
Deborah says, do wigs forever have taco head?
No, typically not. They typically don't because they have more packaging, not only on the inside of the wigs themselves, but they also have a cradle around them that kind of protects the shape.
Yeah.
And eventually we might pivot to using our boxes on them to kind of further drive home the point that these are a slightly more premium product. But that's something where we're kind of working on it. Oh, I think I turned the light off.
What light?
There we go.
Oh, that light, yes, okay.
Sparkle magic.
I just realized we've been doing this whole thing and I haven't turned the candles on.
Oh, no. We lost goth points. All right, so this one does have taco head, right? And again, I need to not try to part this one. I am looking at the camera. So this is not styled. This is literally how she'll look when you get her home. So here.
Turn the candles on.
Yay! Goth points reclaimed. Okay. I don't know how the back looks, hopefully.
Let's have a look. Turn around.
Yeah, I get that. Do you need a comb?
Nope.
All right.
I'll use my fingers. There you go.
So all we're really trying to show you how to do is kind of an easy way, like a lazy person's way, to round off the top a little bit. Because beep, beep, beep. That's what I mean by taco head. She gets like this little crease in the top. And, you know, again, I don't want to sugarcoat it. I want to make sure I'm really transparent about it. But it's also super easy. Like, yeah, the hot air brush is annoying because it makes loud noise and goes burr. But you don't have to actually have any skills. We're not using sectioning clips. I would not be able to do it if it required like really intense skills because I'm not a cosmetologist. So it's actually really, really easy. It just takes a couple minutes because you need to be patient and wait for the hair to heat up a little bit. I definitely recommend hitting the bottom side though, the first thing that Nigel recommended, because that's super easy to do. You can do it with a hairdryer too. Just get it warm so it softens it up and rounds it out. Or if you don't mind this, awesome. You don't have to do anything at all because this is a heat-friendly fiber, which also means that it's slightly more stiff than a conventional fiber. So the more you play with it, the more static builds up on the ends, and you can get some really interesting texture from it. That's why I like heat-friendly fiber for textured cuts, because you could use something like this Peace Out Creme if you want to, if you really want nice, kind of like almost like crunchy looking ends, you know, because I like that aesthetic. That's very late 90s. That is my heart right there. But if you want something that's a little bit softer, sometimes you just need to play with this a little bit and it will do the trick. I'm also not using makeup or anything to try to obscure the hard front. So I want you to be able to see that. So there is that too. Let's turn around one more time. And then we'll put on the Moonlit Orchid that Nigel styled so you can kind of see the difference.
All right. Vicky Thompson asks, can you do it with a round brush and a hairdryer?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Let me get in here.
So, yes. That's a yes.
The string from the tag was still attached.
Oh.
I didn't know if I was going to have to cut it or what, but yeah. We took the tags off of all these, so.
Yeah, so Wilma, that is Moonlit Orchid on the mannequin head.
And I'm wearing the pink one, the Rose Blush R. So there's the difference between the two.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Moonlit Orchid's definitely purple compared to the Rose Blush, which is definitely pink. They both have kind of the same grayish undertone. They're like cousins, you know?
Sarah says, I use MyUS to get my CysterWigs to the UK. They are great.
Yeah, I had
Excellent.
good experiences
Thank
with
you.
them when I was in the UK. So good company there.
Let's see. Sweet Georgia lady JL says, would love to see the blonde wig.
We showed the South Beach Sands earlier.
Yeah, if you tune in near the beginning of the or middle-ish on the replay, you'll see that one. That is the South Beach Sands R.
So here is the Moonlit Orchid. And this one has had that little bit of brown brush action that Nigel did here on camera. If you missed that he did for about 10 minutes or so, just a few minutes ago. So if you rewind it a little bit on the replay, you'll be able to find that. Okay. You can see it's definitely a little fluffier than the one that I just had on. It's definitely more rounded on top. And that was kind of what we were going for. And the cool thing about the hot air brush or using the blow dryer is that you can also style it when it's on your head, if that is easier for you.
Well, that's a good question.
What's that?
Hell's Kitchenette asks, they look similar. Are the roots the same on both?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just one's purple and the other one's pink.
There you go. And Shauna Salmon says, I work weekends. I always miss so much. Boy, can I relate to that. And if Sean is still here or was still here, she would also vouch for that. Yes.
I'm going to use a little bit of this Peace Out cream on the front. You can see that by and large the front kind of stays out of your face because it's steamed and styled that way. So it kind of does. But if you want it to really stick, I use this John Renault pomade. It's their Easy Hair Peace Out Contour Creme Fiber Cream. And I just put enough on my fingers that I can get kind of like a sticky but still sheer amount. I don't want to really layer it on too thick.
Oh, Shelly F says, will that method work on the sewn-in oval piece in the part area too? I've noticed some of them seem raised around the edges of the oval piece.
Yes. Yes, you just got to get them warm.
Yeah.
And then they soften right up. Because what you're really trying to manipulate is the permatease.
Wilma says, do you think the Moonlit Orchid will suit cool toned pale skin?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely, yes.
Joan says, hi, Heather and Nigel. Just tuned in. Was wondering what that plastic band you have on your head. Hope it's not being too nosy.
Oh, no. These, I think, are the pro version of the bands that you can get on Amazon. But I've also used the branded Mark Trainer bands for the same thing. I made a video all about them on the main YouTube channel. So I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it, because I talk about how I get them to stick on and where I place them. This time around, I'm only wearing one band, and it's a single band that goes all the way around. And I'm using silicone adhesive to keep it in place. I have asymmetry in my face due to an accident I had when I was younger. So I try to combat that a little bit by just trying to lift up my mid-face sometimes, and it helps a bit. I mean, eventually someday I might need to get it surgically corrected if the asymmetry gets worse over time. But for now, I just try to use cosmetic tricks. It's cheaper.
Well.
Thank you.
I am smooth.
Yes, you are, dear. Because he styled this one already, I didn't have to put so much stuff in it. And I could even do more with the hot air brush if I really wanted to bring this out and get more volume. And I think we're all kind of annoyed with the burr sound. So I'll just kind of do it with my fingers a little bit. You see, I'm kind of just tickling the permatease a little bit. Get just a little bit of lift going on. How's the back look, honey?
Yeah, just a minute.
Does she look crazy?
No,
Can
no.
you
It's
fluff
just,
her so she looks crazy? Jazz hands it.
there's no business like show. There you go.
Yes. Good, good, good. Excellent. Can you move this thing? I keep kicking it.
Sorry, my treasure.
That's all right, honey. Thank you for helping.
Well, I'm here for, isn't it?
And eye candy.
Shelly loves your necklace as well.
Thank you. I think this is one of those like J. Crew necklaces. I don't know. I saw it on Poshmark and I was like, ooh, pretty, mine. I love buying secondhand jewelry and clothing.
Liz says somewhat Cyndi Lauper.
It is. I think also because it's mildly clashy, but still kind of works. Yeah. Very, very cute. I really like this color a lot. So which was your favorite of the 3? Well, I guess 4 we showed because we showed the rose blush too.
Yeah.
So of that bunch, which was your favorite? I would love to know. Make sure you let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Particularly after the replay, the conversation doesn't stop just because the live stream does, and we're checking it out. So
Yeah.
you know, even if you're watching this like 2-3 weeks or months later, feel free to comment. We will respond. We're very interactive here on the social medias. Speaking of which, I would like to take a moment to thank our patrons on Patreon, which a lot of you are. And so those of you who are know that, you know, not only do we send you guys a reminder as well about these live streams, but we also give you exclusive content, sneak previews, advance notice of product releases, and insider commentary. And there might be other things that we're adding over time. You know, I don't want to like overpromise and underdeliver. So we're really going to, you know, announce these things as we realize that they're sustainable and things that we can continue to do over time. But we want to keep adding to this for sure. We also want to thank our newest patron, Victoria Simmons. So thank you so much for being part of our patron crowd. All right. And so here are our other lovely Patreon subscribers. We'll make sure everybody gets a turn on the catwalk, on the catwalk, on the catwalk. Yeah, we shake our little tushes on the catwalk. And still think the original is better than Drake's version. I don't know if you disagree.
There's a Drake version.
There is a Drake version, and the video,
Okay,
the video is legit hilarious. Okay.
All right, I want to say this. Drake version. Right said Fred version.
We need to know your late aughts memes, honey. Want to thank our extra special.
Nothing if not topical.
I am messing up all of these words because I keep thinking of Right Said Fred. So extra special thanks to our top patrons. We actually love all of our patrons, though. Seriously,
oh, yes.
We love making content specifically for you, and we're trying to finish up some projects so that way we can actually start doing more with this. So
Yeah.
just know that we definitely have some ideas kicking around. I bought a ton. You guys, I bought a microphone with the Patreon money, like a really good, like podcast quality microphone with this, with the little shield in front of it and the whole thing. And we got soundproofing.
And yeah, I installed soundproofing panels in the office over there. And I've tested the microphone and got it for, you know, and tried to balance the levels and everything. So I'm slowly but surely getting it ready up to broadcast. It's just
time. It's just we never seem to have the time, but we're working on it. I hope once hairkittykitty.com launches that maybe I will have more time, because I want to get him reading to you guys more, because he's got that lovely voice. And I know I listen to podcasts every night when I go to sleep, but I'd much rather listen to him reading me bedtime stories. I mean, don't let that go to your head too much, but but when we were apart, he would read to me over the phone, and there were multiple times where I just dozed off and probably started snoring loudly into the phone. Is this true or false?
Couple times it was true.
But it was so soothing.
Yeah,
I would love to do that.
I read I read The Princess Bride to you.
Yeah.
When was that? Was that when I was still sick with the Gorovirus, or shortly afterwards?
That was. Hold on, that was the year after that.
That was the year after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you started reading to me. I'm the one that got sick.
You're the one that got sick.
I'm the one that got sick.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. My father read this to me when I was younger. Now I'm reading it to you. Oh, where is it?
He did. He started on Valentine's Day and kept it up.
Christine says, I'm too old for this. I would do blonde, but I really like rose blush. I'm a wild child at heart. You're never too old for that sort of thing.
No.
Really? Do you like it? Go for it.
Dude.
Don't worry about what other people think. enjoy yourself.
You will get so many compliments. Seriously, if you guys have experienced this in the comments, back me up. Like, seriously, if you are over a certain age and you wear a color that's kind of vaguely pastel, right? Like it's still got a little bit of gray to it. Obviously, it looks more purple than gray because it's just going to stand out like that. But that's really fashionable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're not comfortable, fine. I don't want to apply peer pressure or make you feel like that. But just know that by and large, this is a very trendy move. People tend to really applaud you for stepping out of your comfort zone the older you get, honestly. Seriously, like I feel like that's true. Like it's almost like it's like you become invisible to a certain extent when you, I mean, this is my personal experience. You might not feel this way, but I feel like the older I get, the more invisible I tend to get, right? And when I go out in a color like this, people go out of their way, literally, to buy me drinks and have, I mean, friendly style drinks, not like hitting on me type drinks.
It better bloody not.
But like he'll be right there and they'll just come on over and start talking to you because they think that you're a fun person. I mean, maybe that's also because I live in a college town, so caveat, right? But I think that depending on where you are and your own comfort level with it, other people might be really cool with it too.
Yeah, a lot of comments backing that up, Heather.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's amazing. Like, I hear that story a lot about our holographic blonde, where people wear it around, their kids who, tease them sometimes about wearing wigs, and they wear that color, and they're like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that thing sells out so quickly.
So yeah, if you feel self-conscious, that's okay, but also at the same
it's
time,
normal.
Please yourself.
That's right.
If like Hannah says, if you've got hair that doesn't match on your neck, you can shave it if you like. You don't have to if you don't want
my
to.
bio hair isn't purple. It's like black with gray in it. Man.
Or there are other
dark brown.
There are other colors that will match your natural hair color. So
Honey, I love that you're like a hair color evangelist now. One of us.
Look, I spent most of my life worrying about what other people would think of me and trying to fit in because I don't fit in anywhere. My accent is too American to be English and too English to be American.
Truth. That's true.
So, I don't fit in anywhere, and I just figured in the end, hell with it. I'm going to be me and enjoy that. And if other people enjoy that, great. If other people don't enjoy that, well, so what?
Yeah. But you know what? Some people just genuinely feel more comfortable in like brown, blonde, normal colors.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Those can be really pretty too. That's why we keep making so many light browns.
Yeah.
Because I love light brown. I feel very comfortable in light brown.
Yeah.
Really, there are very few blondes that I would feel comfortable wearing in real life. Like our beach house, I will wear that color out and about. Same thing with our Aniston foil, which is more like a light brown, but then we're back in browns. So everybody's got a comfort zone.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that game either. You do whatever you want to do. And we will try to make hair colors for it.
And as Heather has often demonstrated, with judicious application of makeup, you can make colors work for you.
Yeah.
So,
it's fascinating.
Get what you like, make it work for you until you are happy with it.
That's right. To the point where, like, I hear once in a while where people are like, my son was teasing me about wearing wigs, and then I wore this or I wore that. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just tease to tease also. So you kind of have to look at that relationship. Like my brother is like that. Like he used to work for our wig company and he would tease me about wearing wigs once in a while just because he's my brother. Like that's just what he does. So whatever. I call him a putz and we move on.
This needs a Facebook user. Sorry, your name isn't coming up on here. But
probably coming from Moon Kitty, private.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
Thursday was my 70th. Happy
birthday!
Got 6 out of girls wearing my pink Piper. Never too old.
Yes! Hey. I live for stories like that. That's fantastic.
Excellent. Wilma says, the older I get, the less I care about what other people think. I just turned 61. Hooray! Congratulations.
That's right. Happy
and I'm
birthday.
okay with that. Well, exactly. So, yeah, hope that helps. And, yeah. Sorry, I kind of ran out of steam on my tirade there.
That's all right. I think we've basically covered all the angles of charisma. I've showed you multiple colors, pictures of others. There will probably be more of that stuff as time goes on because I just shot a bunch of stuff last night. And yeah, I think we did a good job. Excellent work, honey.
Teamwork.
Excellent work, everybody. High five to you as well.
Wi-Fi, high five, as Theo Adams says.
Oh, I love that. Theo's amazing. So thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have a wonderful week. We will see you again next week. I don't know what the topic will be. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see what sparks joy.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Yes, indeed.
Bye.
Bye, all.